Imagine standing in front of a bookshelf filled with books, each one holding memories of your life, lessons you learned, words you read, and experiences you lived. But instead of being organized, those books are scattered, pages falling out, some missing, some forgotten. This is how many people treat their memory. They keep filling their mind, but never learn how to arrange it, protect it, and use it when they need it. And when the exam comes, or the presentation begins, or the conversation starts, they search inside their head and find nothing but blank pages. But here is the truth. Memory is not something fixed or weak. It is not a broken machine you must live with. Memory is a skill, and like any skill, it can be trained and strengthened. The secret to remembering lies not in cramming, but in connection. When you connect information with meaning, with a story, with an image, your brain stores it like a jewel, easy to recall. Think about the last movie you watched. You still remember the characters, their emotions, maybe even the dialogues. Why? Because your brain loves stories, emotions, and pictures. Now think about the last time you read a list of random English words, or tried to memorize a number. Within minutes it was gone. Why? Because your brain hates random, lifeless information. So the first rule is simple. Give life to what you want to remember. Create meaning, build connections, turn the word or phrase into something alive. Take an English phrase, break the ice. If you try to memorize it directly, you may forget. But imagine a group of people sitting quietly, and someone strikes a frozen lake, breaking the ice. Everyone laughs and relaxes. That image stays in your mind, and the phrase stays with it. Another mistake people make is believing remembering means storing everything. No, memory is not about keeping every detail, but about knowing what matters and recalling it when needed. Just like a library does not throw books randomly, your mind must create shelves and categories, otherwise you drown in useless details. And the best way to build these shelves is through repetition spaced across time. If you hear a new English word today and review it tomorrow, then after 3 days, then 1 week, then 2 weeks, it will move from short-term to long-term memory. Each recall strengthens the path in your brain, like a trail turning into a road. So remembering everything is not magic. It is practice mixed with science. You use the power of images, stories, emotions, and add smart repetition. That is how you start. And when you recall a word in a conversation, or a lesson you read months ago, you feel something powerful. Your brain is not weak. It is waiting for the right method to shine. And this journey is not only about exams or language learning. It is about building a sharper mind, a confident personality, and a sense of control. Because when you remember better, you live better. Now let's go deeper. You know, memory grows with meaning, pictures, and repetition. But there is another tool hidden in plain sight. It is association. Your brain is like a web, each idea linked to another. If you attach new knowledge to what you know, recall becomes natural. For example, imagine you want to remember resilient. Instead of repeating it, think of a rubber band. Stretch it, twist it, but it snaps back into shape. That is resilience. And now the word is fixed in your mind. Every time you see a rubber band, the word appears. This is association, and you can use it anywhere. When learning names, link them with a picture. If someone's name is Rose, imagine a rose above their head. The next time you meet them, the image shows up and the name follows. Another tool is location memory. Humans are good at remembering places. Think about your childhood home. Even after years, you can walk through its rooms in your mind, recalling walls, doors, maybe even smells. This natural skill can be used for study. It is called the memory palace. Choose a familiar place, maybe your house. Place information inside it like objects in rooms. Put a word on the couch, a rule on the table, an idea on the wall. When you walk through this house in imagination, each item appears. Suddenly facts have a home and your brain recalls with ease. This method was used by Greek thinkers and still by memory champions. And here is the secret. The more creative your image is, the stronger the memory. If you imagine a word sitting quietly, you may forget. But if you imagine that word dancing on your table, you will never forget. The brain loves strange, colorful, exaggerated pictures. So let your imagination go wild. Now combine this with English practice. If you want to remember once in a blue moon, picture a giant blue moon inside your room, shining so bright that everything turns blue. This silly image locks the phrase forever. Memory is not about stress or force. It is about play, creativity, and connection. And when you enjoy it, recall grows naturally. Another tip is to teach what you learn. When you explain a word or idea to someone else, you use it actively, and your brain understands it deeply. This is active recall, the most powerful way to learn. So instead of keeping notes closed, share them. Tell a friend, record your voice, or write in a journal. The more you express, the more it stays with you. And don't forget your body. Memory is not only about the brain, but also lifestyle. Good sleep is like pressing the save button. Exercise increases blood flow, feeding your brain. Even a short walk helps information stick. And water matters. A dehydrated brain forgets faster. So memory is not just tricks, but also care. Together, these steps build a foundation. Your mind is sharper, your recall faster, and your confidence higher. And soon you realize remembering is not a heavy burden. It becomes a natural way of living. By now you have learned the main pillars of memory: connection, association, imagination, repetition, and lifestyle. But there is one final step that ties everything together. It is consistency. Most people try techniques for 1 or 2 days, then stop. They expect instant results, and when nothing changes, they quit. But memory training is like exercise. You cannot build muscle in a single workout. You grow stronger little by little with steady practice. The same is true for your brain. Every time you review a word, build an image, or walk through a memory palace, you are training your mind. And over weeks you notice the difference. You remember more, forget less, and feel more confident. The key is to keep going, even with small steps. 5 minutes daily is better than 1 hour once a week, because your brain loves rhythm, not random bursts. So make memory a habit, part of your daily routine. When you drink tea, recall yesterday's words. When you walk, repeat a phrase. When you go to bed, close your eyes and see your memory palace. These tiny actions create huge results. Another important point is mindset. If you believe you have a weak memory, your brain follows that belief. But if you see memory as a skill, your effort multiplies. Confidence is not just a result, it is also fuel. Tell yourself, I can train my memory and I can improve. This attitude keeps you motivated, and motivation keeps you consistent. Now think of how this helps your English journey. Instead of forgetting vocabulary after 1 week, you carry it for months. Instead of struggling in conversations, words come naturally. Instead of losing focus, you stay sharp and calm. And the best part? A strong memory is not only for exams or languages. It helps in work, relationships, and personal growth. You recall names, ideas, and details that others forget. People notice and they respect your clarity. Slowly you build a reputation for being sharp and reliable. And inside you feel a new kind of freedom. No more panic before a test. No more blank mind during a meeting. Your memory becomes your ally, always ready to support you. And that changes how you see yourself. You stop saying, I forget everything, and start saying, I remember what matters. This simple shift changes your confidence, your mood, and even your future. Because knowledge only has power when you can recall it. And now you have the tools to make recall easy. So keep practicing. Use images, stories, associations, memory palaces, active recall, and care for your body. Do it daily and your memory will transform. One day, without even noticing, you will realize something beautiful. You no longer struggle to remember. You simply know. And that is when you see the truth. Your brain was never weak. It was always waiting for the right key. And now that you hold it, the door to endless memory is open.